Hi guys, welcome back to The Morning Rant, the show in which I talk about whatever I want to talk about during my telecommute trip from my home to the office. Today, I know that the title of the episode and the image that I chose for the poster are a bit controversial, but I hope that you can stay with me for a couple minutes so I can explain what's on my mind, okay? Let's start with a fact. I became a father something like 1 year ago, and when my baby was 7 months old, we started sending him to the kindergarten, and the kindergarten needed some photos of him and of my family and stuff like that. And so I said to myself, you want a portrait? Yes, we need a portrait for documents, for the closet and other stuff. And so I took my camera, my Canon reflex camera, I took a light diffuser, and I tried to take some photos of my son. Remember, he was 7 months old. I tried to capture him and to have a nice portrait look for him, because I know it's my job that the camera makes everyone ugly. Camera has no mercy. That's the same for the younger people, for children. I took some photos, something like 50 photos, of which 10 were almost usable for his portrait. And one of these photos was very, very, very beautiful, because he had a very big smile. Everything was perfect for him. And then I showed the picture to my wife, and she said, "Oh, that's gorgeous, that's beautiful. Too bad that the t-shirt is wrapped." Oh my God, that's my job to look at all the details in a picture, and I completely forgot the t-shirt because I focused only and solely on the expression on the face. And yes, the t-shirt was messy, but I said to myself, "Oh, okay, that's good." But she said, no, that's too messy. We cannot use this photo. And so I did something that it was at the moment silly, and now it's not so silly. I grabbed a copy of Photoshop Beta. I used the beta version of Photoshop to have all the features in preview. And I selected the part of the t-shirt that was very messy, and I used generative fill. And then the picture became okay, perfect. There was something strange for this, but I didn't know what was then. And then I showed it to my wife. I said to her, I used artificial intelligence to rebuild the t-shirt. And she said, "I don't know." And at the moment she said, "I don't know," me too, I said to myself, "I don't know." It was like cheating, but like cheating with my son. It was something completely strange for us and for me, because I cheat every day using visual effects and all the kinds of artifacts to make the product of my clients better, to make the skin of my clients better. And for the first time, I did a small trick with my son. Note that I never touch anything of his skin. Everything that you see of his skin, of his face, of everything it's his. I only changed the t-shirt, but I felt that it was like cheating. And then after a couple days, I said to myself, "Oh my God, a picture of my baby is on the cloud servers of Adobe that has been used for this generative AI image, and they have this picture forever." Oh my God, what did I did? And I hope, I really hope that they never use it as a training image for the database. I know that it won't be the case, but this makes me sad, angry, and crazy. Oh my God, what did I did? By the way, we never used this photo for the kindergarten. We used another photo, very, very, very much worse, in my opinion. In the end, the question remained, except for the part of the picture on the server of Adobe, that I'm almost sure that it will never be seen by anyone, I hope. Doing generative AI with a picture of someone I love and I care and I have full complete responsibility is something that makes me think a lot about this kind of topic. I felt a little dirty doing this kind of trick. And remember, I only changed the t-shirt, not the face. But I felt that something was wrong. That's one thing. I want to talk about another stuff, but after this break, so I can check and test my upcoming app, FCP Postcutter. Okay, so stop. I think that you've seen something like a 3-second image of me saying "ta-da," or a cartoon version of me. Another stuff. When a new baby is born, parents, friends give you a lot of stuff. They make you gifts. A couple of friends of us give us a baby cam, okay? You have something like a webcam, and that camera is targeted to the bed, and you have a monitor so you can check the status of the sleep of your baby while you're not in the same room, okay? That's almost pretty functional everywhere, except in our house, because the bed of my baby is 2 floors above our living room. And so the signal is not so strong, and so you have a lot of freezes, and sometimes there's no actual signal. And so this baby cam is pretty useless. And so I say to myself, okay, let's see if there's an app. I have tons of older iPhones. I can put an iPhone and target it to the bed, and so have the streamed to another iPhone or my computer in the living room. And I search, and there's tons of apps like this. But all these apps send the images to someone else's computer, someone else's server. They cost something like $5 a month. It can be acceptable, but I do not accept that the images of my house and my baby go outside this house and outside the network into someone else's computer, someone else's streaming server, someone else's stuff that I cannot control, and it's not certified. I was quite anxious and angry because I needed this kind of baby cam, but I never had the ability to use one. And then I said to myself, you know what, you're a software developer, you can do something like this. And so I developed a simple app. In my idea, the final version of this app could use multi-peer connectivity to stream directly information from the camera, from the iPhone camera, to the receiver using the local network and without accessing the internet. But for now, I used my own server to store a single image that is continuously rewritten by the iPhone and continuously read from the computer, which shows the images. It works. I like it. We use it every day. Even my wife likes it because there's no audio, but the audio is recorded from the microphone of the iPhone that is used as a camera. And so if the noise rises above a certain dB level, pressure level, then the screen in the receiver become completely orange, and so it blinks in the corner of your eyes, and then you focus immediately on the screen of the computer, and so you can see if my son is moving, is waking up or not. Given the fact that I'm not using multi-pair connectivity, and so I use an external server, and I have a decent ADSL in my house, not so powerful. I do not have fiber optic. I say that I can stream something like 1 image per second. That's enough for this kind of stuff. Each image is something like 15 to 25, 30 kilobytes JPEG, very compressed JPEG. In our bedroom, where there's the bed of my son, the light is very, very dim. So all these images are captured in a very low light condition. I do a proper pre-processing on the iPhone, raising up the exposure using core image and core image filters. And then I shrink down the image to something like a 720p resolution and send this JPEG up to the server and then it's read from the computer with some metadata, such as the volume level of the microphone, the battery level of the iPhone, and stuff like this. The timestamp of the image, and all this kind of metadata. And then the receiver shows this image. And then does other post-processing of the image, such as exposure increment and something like this. But those images are very, very, very noisy. And so I said to myself, let's search for a machine learning model to reduce noise or to increase readability of a low light condition images. And then I found some CoreML models, open sourced. And then I said, okay, I can use this kind of stuff to increase the quality of the image that has been sent from my iPhone to the computer. And then another time, the question switched in me. Should I use artificial intelligence to increase the quality of a picture of my son? Okay, this is a completely different stuff, because this is not something that I can use to capture the essence of my son. This is an informative image that shows me if my son is sleeping or is awake. But deeply, deeply, deeply inside, I felt the same dirt. I don't know if I want to use generative artificial intelligence locally without using it on a shared computer, on the iCloud of someone else service, software as a service. But do I want to use this kind of technology on a picture of my son? And the answer is, I don't know. Maybe I will do this as a test to learn something new, to learn how to use this model and blah, 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 blah. I don't know if I will ever use it, because it feels always like cheating. It's something that makes me sad about it. So this is the end of this episode, and in the end I didn't answer to my own questions, but instead I ask you, what's your opinion about this topic? I generally want to understand what other people think about this, and because I'm trying to understand something, and I don't know if I understand this topic deeply, deeply, deeply down at the core. So if you want to say something and want to express your opinion, I will read it very, very, very intensely, because I want to understand more of this topic. So if you want to say something, please do that in the comments below. If you like this kind of content, like this video, or subscribe to this channel, or click on the bell to be notified, blah, 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 the same of stuff. For now, I just say thank you for listening to me, and sorry if I did this title and this image controversially and provocative, but you know, I work in marketing. Sometimes I need to do something like this. For now, that's all, and as always, ciao!